started crying. I'm like, tell me now, like, what's going on? She said, her baby daddy and my brother baby mama and the baby daddy cousin came in the house and stole everything. I said, when?
She's never going to be able to trust you again. She probably still loves you as her sister, but she's never going to trust you with money again. She's never going to trust you being alone in the house again. She's never going to trust any of that because you robbed her or you set her up to be robbed. Oh my goodness. Welcome back to another episode of Clacked Out Conversations. I'm your host, Fahim, and today we got some more TikTok content. Part 1, story time on how my sister set me up to get robbed. I'm not here to waste your time. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, and let's get into it.
So this is story time part 1. This story is about when my sister, or how my sister and my brother baby mama set me up to get robbed. Okay. So remind you, I used to let a lot of people live with me because I don't want them to be home. So if you ain't got nowhere to stay, then my house has always been an open house. I always help people or whatever. So my sister, I used to keep money in my house. I used to keep money in the bank, and I used to keep money in my house. Now remind you, I had custody of my niece, my nephew, and my sister because my mama had died and my sister had passed away too. So I had got custody of them to take care of them or whatever. So I used to leave money in my house, in my safe or whatever, and I used to leave money in the bank. The money in my house, it was for the kids, like emergency money. So when I was going to take them shopping with the money, I used to keep a couple of thousands in the house or whatever. So one day, my sister told me she had an appointment. She had a baby. She had a son. She had an appointment, and she was like, she needed a ride to go to her appointment. And I told her I'd take her there or whatever, because I knew the baby needed some milk or whatever. But she was rushing me. I wasn't paying no attention. She was rushing me. So now, we get our way to the week office or whatever, and my sister just keep walking back and forth. She on the phone. She'll go outside on the phone and she'll come back. Still ain't paying no attention. That's her phone. That's her conversation. I don't care about that. She young too. My sister, she was young then. So she won't even.
And also, the last thing you think is that she's on the phone with somebody planning to potentially rob you. Let's keep going.
She was 17 yet. So she on the phone or whatever. I'm in there, and they call her name or whatever. When they call her name, she was still in there. So I had to go outside and tell her, like, yo, they called your name or whatever. So she came back in there or whatever, and I still wasn't paying no attention. So after a minute, they seen her, and we was getting ready to leave the week office. So now that we get ready to leave the week office, she like, oh, I'm hungry. I want to go get something to eat or whatever. All right, cool. So we finna go get something to eat. So we at the restaurant, and the line long. I was in the drive-thru, so the line was long. So I was like, I'm gonna just. So like I was saying, my sister wanted to get something to eat, and we went to the restaurant, but they had a drive-thru, and the drive-thru line was too long. So I said, I'm gonna just go in there since the baby in the car. So she's gonna stay in the car with the baby. So I went in there. It didn't take that long. I went in there that long to get our food or whatever. So when I came back out, she was just trying to hurry up and hang up the phone or whatever. I mean, even though I didn't say nothing, I still watch everything, period. So she got off the phone. I was like, who you talking to? And she said it was one of her little homegirls or whatever. I was just like, oh. So now we get back to my house. Nobody in the house. Still ain't there. All the kids was at school this day. So I'm in the house, and I'm sitting on my bed. And something looked different. I couldn't quite figure out what it was that looked different or whatever, because my door wasn't broken, my front door wasn't broken, my back door wasn't broken either. So I'm sitting there, but my closet was cracked. My closet is always closed. I always make sure my closet is closed because my firearm used to be up there in my closet inside of my safe with the money too. So I said, something said, get up and check that safe. I got up and I looked at my safe. I had a black safe, and it was open still. It wasn't even that open. You could tell that it had been broken. So I looked in there, and I seen everything was gone. All the money was gone. Everything was gone. The firearm was gone, like literally. So I'm like, oh my God, somebody somebody done robbed me, somebody done robbed me, somebody done broke in my house.
And you already know it's her sister because nobody else was aware of that safe. Nobody else was aware of that safe. I believe earlier she referenced how that money was for her children. Nobody else knew about that safe, bruh. The only other person that possibly knew was her sister. Especially considering that there was a firearm in there. I'm pretty sure she kept it high up so that her children won't be able to get to it. So, let's keep going.
So, now remind you, I didn't check the safe that previous day. I did not check the safe. I didn't have no reason to check the safe for a couple of days or whatever. And it's no need to. It's just me and the kids in the house. I had my own kids, then I had the other kids too. So, I asked my sister. I was like, "Hey, somebody done broke in the house. Somebody done broke in the house." I wasn't even thinking like, "Hey, the door's not broken, so nobody couldn't have broke in the house, whatever." I said, "Somebody done broke in the house," and she looking like, "Huh?" I'm like, "Yeah, somebody done broke in the house. They done stole all my money." I said, "They stole all the money." So the rest of the kids get home. So by the time it's about time for the rest of the kids to come home. So everybody start coming in one by one or whatever after they get off the bus. So I'm like, "Yeah, somebody done broke in the house. They done stole all the money. They done stole the money that I had. You know what I'm saying? I was going to take y'all shopping with or whatever." So everybody looking like, "Well, how they get in the house? How they get in the house?" So I was like, "I don't know." You know what I'm saying? So I started checking the doors. I'm going through the front door. I'm going through the back door or whatever. I'm trying to figure out how to get in the house, and my brain just clicked like, something ain't right. The one that's locked, I went to the slide door. My back slide door was open. I was like, wait a minute. I make sure all my doors be locked. Something ain't right. So my nephew and all them upset about the what you call it. So I called my sister. I was like, what is going on? So she started crying. I'm like, "What are you crying for? What is going on? Who broke in my house? You better tell me what's going on." Then I said, "That was your money. That was y'all money for me to take y'all shopping." She started crying. I'm like, "Tell me now, like what's going on?" She said, her baby daddy and my brother baby mama and the baby daddy cousin came in the house and stole everything. I said, "When?" Just say, "When we was gone." When we was gone? Are you serious? So you set me up? Like, are you serious? Like, girl, you can't be that naive. You really set me up.
And then she acted brand new when you asked her. She acted clueless. Huh? Doesn't make any sense. Looking stupid. You just set your sister up and robbed your sister. Do you know how conniving that is? So you just ruined the relationship with your sister forever. She's never going to be able to trust you again. She probably still loves you as her sister, but she's never going to trust you with money again. She's never going to trust you being alone in the house again. She's never going to trust any of that because you robbed her or you set her up to be robbed. Oh my goodness.
So she just crying and everybody was like, "Do you know that was our money to go shopping and stuff?" So she tried to act like, so I called my dad or whatever, told him what was going on. I went looking for the baby dad. I went to their house, went knocking on the door and all of this stuff. And so I got to the house or whatever. Nobody came to his door at all. I didn't even see him for a few minutes. So I got back home and I was going to call the police. And I was like, you know what? I ain't even going to call no police. I didn't even call the police, y'all. I just literally let it go. I put my sister out. I didn't care how old she was. I put her up out of my house. And I thought I was done with her. I wasn't dealing with her no more. Like, it's done. Like, you gonna set your own sister up to be robbed? Like, what type of stuff is that? I'm your sister. I'm the one to take care of you. Like, I don't know. I guess that didn't matter. She was a young girl and she let him influence her into doing something like that or whatever. And something ended up happening again that she needed me. And yep. I was the fool. I let her come back again. I let her come back again to stay in my house. But this time, I was watching her like a night hawk. I had cameras all around my house and all outside and everything. But I said all this to say, sometimes it be your own family that you cannot trust. You gotta know who you have around you. But even then, it be your family that will turn against you. You can be there for somebody. You can do all of these good things for somebody, but you can't trust nobody. That's the best thing, not to trust nobody. Because if I can get set up and robbed from my sister, like, come on, man. the person that's taking care of you, that's been taking care of you, I'm getting ready for an 80s party, y'all. This looks like, come on, you can't trust nobody. So y'all just be careful of who you dealing with, even if it is family or whatever, because they'll turn on you quicker than your friends will. They're your worst enemies.
I don't agree with her saying that you can't trust anybody. I think that it's all about vetting individuals, vetting their character, and seeing whether or not they're trustworthy. Frankly, there were probably red flags that she would do something like that beforehand that she naturally excused because it's her sister. And I would see her being with a baby daddy that would do something like that as a clear red flag, because I'm certain this isn't the first criminal activity he's engaged in. And I'm sure that given that she was her sister and that they stayed together, I'm quite positive that she was aware of some of the criminal activity, at least to some extent. You know, y'all sisters didn't talk. At the same time, I recognize that it is her sister, and so she wouldn't just want to put her out. You know, I do see that, which is probably why she took her back in, even after this grotesque incident. But let's keep going.
Okay, part 3. Everybody want to know what happened within part 3. How did I end up letting her come back? So when I said something had happened, I ended up letting her come back. So when I put my sister out, her son stayed with me, though. So he ended up falling off the bed. He was in the room and he ended up falling. He was a baby, and I had like a tall bed or whatever. And all of the kids was playing, jumping off the bed and stuff. And he ended up falling. When he fell, he hurt himself. So when he hurt himself, he had to go to the hospital. So when he at the hospital, everybody got involved. The hospital, defects, the police, everybody got involved during this time because he hurt himself. So once defects became involved or whatever, they ended up taking the son or whatever because of him falling. It was just so crazy or whatever. So the baby ended up going to stay with the baby father auntie. That's who the baby ended up with. So once the baby with the auntie, the baby father auntie, it was so much going on over there that it was crazy. So they was like, okay, she need a stable place to stay, and then my sister need a stable place to stay or whatever. So everybody was investigated. Like, first they was like, oh, he fell and he hurt himself. So it was just basically like they was taking the baby or whatever. But once they investigated and they did all of that, and they was going to give him, back to the mom or whatever, they was like, she need a stable place to live. She didn't have a stable place to live. She don't have a mother no more. She ain't have nobody but me. When nobody else finna take care of her. When nobody else. So instead of him going into the system, because the auntie was like, oh man, it was terrible. The auntie wouldn't let her see him. It was just like crazy. So I was like, the police came. So once the police came, I knew the police officer that was there because I went to get him. Once I found out what was going on over there with the auntie, she wanted to see the baby. The auntie wouldn't let her come see the baby or whatever. I was just like, okay, cool. So I knew the police officer, and he was just like, well, I'm going to let her go back with you. So we already had a defects case open, number one. So the police came, and the police let him come with me. So the defects. So like I was saying, we already had a defects case open. And the next morning, the auntie called defects, the social worker that was over the case. They ended up giving her the baby. And she told the defects worker that I came and got the baby. So the defects worker contacted me, and I told her, yes, I came and got the baby. They was arguing over there. They was fighting over there. So the police didn't feel like that the baby was in a safe environment at the time, and he ended up letting the baby come back with me. Now, remind you, they took him from my home because he failed. So the defects worker, she came to my house again. They did investigation. They had the case still open for like 30 days. But once they found out that everything was good, they ended up closing the case and letting my nephew and my sister go ahead and stay with me. But that's how she ended up back with me. And it was still the same thing. She didn't do anything since that incident. She never even told me she was sorry. Never, not once, said I'm sorry for what I done. Hell, I don't even know if she's sorry or not. But I don't deal with her like that no more though. But that's the story today. Oh, there's a lot of more stuff she done did, but it ain't too crazy to the point that, you know, she had set me up again. But I'm done though.
So, what do you guys think about this story time? I think that the sister is absolutely horrible. I don't see how you can be convinced by anybody to set your own sister up and then not even have the strength to apologize. I think that that is an incredible disturbance in character. I think that that shows that she is not worthy of being hung around, and I definitely don't think that she deserves another chance of living inside of her home. If I were her, I can't say that I just wouldn't let her back in, because I do recognize that emotions are involved. It's her sister. She doesn't want to just leave anybody out on the street. Of course, it's easy as somebody not in this situation to say, I would never let her back in. But when you are in the situation and it's your own flesh and blood, it may be a little more difficult. But let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think that she's justified in letting her back in, given that she's her sister? Or do you think that one time was enough and that robbery should not go unaccounted for and she should never be let back in the home as a result? Thanks for tuning into this Clocked Out conversation. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.